So good morning.
Yeah. Hello, Anton. Yes, I'm here. Oh, we have a question, Anton, in the chat from
Yeah.
Dr. Rafaya. What's the most useful method to control our body language in general, not just in interview? Like if need to say things and my body language give different things.
Well, the most important for me, thank you very much for answering these important questions, Rafi, because I appreciate it and you have a good view in this question for every student. So I appreciate it. So in terms of use control to control our body, indeed there are any way to control the idea, the piece of advice. You wanted to my piece of advice in terms of it. I would say to study the body language. Okay, so to need now until the next interview, it's good to see how the body language reacts. So be aware about the movement that your body language, not in that interview, but when you are in groups, when you are with your family, when you are with your mates, how you interact, your body language, how you express your body language. Try to be aware about the gestures that you do when you are with people, when you are with your mates, when you are on someone special, right, for you, maybe a boyfriend or a girlfriend or some special people or negative people or people that you are afraid of, how you interact, how you, and also it's important to show how the response when you see someone. When you see sometimes, I don't know, we are not aware why decided to reject people for different circumstances, because, and sometimes we decided to reject, we don't feel safe with some people. People sometimes express distance. So that our mind says, alert us that this person is not good for you. You need to go away. And sometimes you need to understand it, and you need to understand why that, and might be because this behavior, this body language behavior, is like sounds us, it reminds us someone that was very bad in the past, that had a bad behavior in the past, and our mind is making a match with the neurons, and the conclusion for other minds is because the body language and this person harmed you in the past. I understood. This is what's the reflection or our mindset. Okay, this is the reflections or our mindset. and the mindset said that I want to show you the reflection, and the reflection is what this person shows gesture. I give you the information. The information is somewhat, maybe you can't remember the person, but they alert us. And they are doing that, they are doing so because they show a gesture that interact much with someone that had a bad behavior, and the mind alert us by telling us that you need to go away from this person. Oh, very good question, very good question, very good question, important question. We work on it to that now. So thank you very much for coming. I expect you enjoy with whatever you want. You did it. So let's start now with the body language. This is the body language question, and this is body language at your interview. Okay. So the entry was to say that you start by you started, and now you are sitting on the sail, and now you're sitting in the sofa, trying to focus on your laptop, working on your laptop. You are working at working on the laptop, working on it, working on the laptop, showing that you are very worried. You are a very busy person. No, you are not a very. You have a lot of time. Okay, when you are trying to playing with this, tapping clicking your smartphone, you say, well, might be the other person say, well, this guy has a lot of time, have been in a free spirit. His free spirit is not good for us. We need to understand other person, and that's the rumor. This spirit, this rumor has been this information has been shown by the secretary, okay, not by the interviewer. What's your opinion about that guy? You say, well, that candidate shows that was very first sit down, they start to play with the smartphone. I think so. They had a lot of. It's like my son. It's like my daughter playing. Well, despite the fact that the candidates are very intelligent, this candidate has been judged by a person, and the conclusion from this person, did they compare your behavior with the son, with the daughter, they link, they match them, and they got a conclusion. She got, the secretary, male or female, got a conclusion. The conclusion is like your son, her son, or her daughter. And her daughter is very believing in a very bad environment, or it seems to me that they have a bad behavior or whatever it is. Well, whatever it is. So link them conclusions and shows that you has had a bad impression because you decided to take the smartphone. The reality, what is the reality? The reality was that you are taking the smartphone by finding information about the company. However, the other people misunderstood what you were doing. So it's time to enter the company, the company, and entry involves something that we wanted to comment, that start to be angry. So it's time to say, the secretary comes and says, yeah, well, Mrs. Gonzalez is waiting to you, so I'm going to join you, okay? So you need to go beside you, and you get up, and you start to go to this the proper room. All right, so this is a very half a minute, no more, 30 seconds, depends on the room, depends on the meeting rules, or whatever it is. Sometimes the interviewers comes, okay, and say hello. Whatever it is, in terms of accompanying, in terms of it, is that you need to be behind the person. So this is a good strategy, not to be behind, the person. Sometimes because we are afraid. So try to stay at the same pace. It will be a good strategy. Okay. Try not to be to fear. When it comes to feeling afraid, the people alert us in different way. Alert us in the blood that is in your in your important principal parts of the body. One of them is your legs. One of them, the heart is pumping blood for alerting every part of our body. And one of the most important is to give blood for different parts of the important. One of them, what the heart is protect the vital parts of our body, including the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the liver, and all of them. So they are protected. And because they are protected, the blood is concentrated in one part rather than others, okay? Then you feel sometimes when you are afraid, you feel that you can't stand up. Because the blood, instead of having blood in your feet, you have blood in other parts of the body. And you feel like you are, you feel sick, to some extent, you feel weak, okay? Also, when you want to get up, you feel some in your legs, you feel like you can't enough power to get up. So the point is that your heart is working and trying to alert you because you are afraid. So you need to relax. Okay, so it's my first, try to breathe yourself 3 or 4 respirations. It's good to relax and say, and try to relax. It's a good way to say respiration and breathing is very important. And breathing, when you breathe, you need to do with your stomach rather than your lungs. Okay, so try to focus on this, the diaphragm. This is here. I'm going to show you this diaphragm. Okay, this is the diaphragm. I'm going to show you. This is I'm very worried about it. For instance, I'm here. I'm very alert. This is my diaphragm. So imagine that you are sit down here and you feel, I'm very nervous. I'm never nervous. Oh, I can't stand up. I say, stand up. You feel, I can't stand up. I can't stand up. I have no power. Okay. So first relax. Breathe instead of breathe with your lungs, breathe with your stomach. Okay. So try to do you at home. For instance, when you are sitting, you say, I can't. I feel I can't. It's good instead of breathe by your stomach. This is my stomach. I'm going to breathe instead of it. So put your hand here, and look at how the movement. Okay, inspiration and expiration 3-4 times. Look at this. I count 1, 2, 3. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Inspiration. Then stop it 3 seconds. Stop it 3 seconds with your stomach full of air. And then slowly I'm going to expiration, make an expiration of 5 seconds. So 3 seconds, stay here 3 seconds, and then expiration of 5 seconds. The same. Give a very big expiration 3 times, 3 seconds. Maintain here 3 seconds more, and then, and the last time. 5, my stomach, 3 seconds, stay 3 seconds, and then if you do it by yourself, when you are sit down, you feel this anxiety, you did 4, 5 respirations when you are sitting, you feel more relaxed. And you can control your body, you can control the every part of your mind, say others to every part, to say everything is fine, everything is okay. It's not necessary to alert. So for me, I understood that everything is fine. Well, questions so far. Well, is the presentations, no one accompanies you. Don't be left waiting at the door. It's a good piece of advice. The secretary keep the same. When you say if no one accompanies you, you say don't be left waiting at the door. The point is when they're here, you see this photo, and you can see that this guy, this candidate wanted to enter. But to some extent, when you enter the door, something stops you. And this is the fear. When you feel fear, something stops fear, and you have power to move your legs. And the point, the result is like you feel like your feet are on sand, and it's like to go to someone paralyzed, someone, something, some stranger things. You see the stranger things, stop it and link to the legs, and you can move your legs. And the result is like when it comes to entering the room, you feel like you have enough strong to move the same pace. You decided to stay cover in a way, to feel cover, to feel a very to slow down the movement of your feet, to stay down, to get it down the movement of your pace, and you feel a limitation. It's like something stick to your feet and you can move very quickly. So this is the fear. Something happen, no? When you enter a room for a professor and you look at this, you say, oh, are you there? And then you stop it. You say, can I wait it? So don't be there. You need to be brave. You need to be determined. You need to be you have to be very high self-esteem, very committed to go there with the same pace. They say the pace, the same moment, they say the way that you are moving will be the same. Doesn't matter to enter like it's your house. So imagine that this is now the staff room, the interview rooms are like your room. And when you go to the rooms, your own room, your family, your own room, when you sleep, when you play, when you study, so you don't stop it. You go there, also you open very bright, waiting. Also, your move are very proper, and you can stop it. And the point is why I need to stop when you enter in a room. Okay, so try to make this personal reflection about what you do and what you haven't to do, you shouldn't do. So you do the same path, the same moment would be the same. I enter very brave, very showing that you have your self-esteem is very high, very showing that you are a determined person. You don't feel timid, you don't feel feel shy. So that's the idea in terms of personal. It's clear that idea in terms of personal when it comes to enter the interview. Well,
I think
well, let's see today the handshake, about handshake. Sometimes it's very complicated for students, for everybody that don't understand how to handle, how to make a handshake. And this is very, very important to understand. So people let decide the handshake. Well, this is a good rule of thumb to understand in an interview. Maybe this famous interviewer or these male interviewers wanted to shake our hands, okay? And we need to know what to do in terms of shake hands. Okay? Well, this is a good approach to shake your hands. How do you make your handshake? This is good. And this is a good reflection for the people that are joining us today. You feel that in terms of handshake, how you shake your hands. So have you thought about how you shake your hands? Have you thought about how our body language conduct information to the interviewer, how the body language conduct informations, deliver informations, gives informations to the interviewer, and which informations are showing by our handset. Good questions. Okay, that's perfect. No, oh my God, what about it? So it seems to me that the information when it comes to handshake, I give you information to other person, Antonio. That's correct. So you are giving information in terms of handshake. And the people subconsciously believe sensation. Sometimes I don't know if the guts, I feel the guts, and you say, oh my God, according to the handshake, this person could be good candidate. And it's what you have to do to move. And here, a good rule of thumb. What about how I make my handshake the next time I need to have an interview? So first, you face three styles. Three styles about the inclination of our handshake. Okay. So and now I'm going to move on the virtual on my screen now. Okay. I'm going to same. I'm going to show you this information. So the idea is when you make handshake here or like this, you're making handshake. So we are going to study, for instance, three variables. The first variable will be, for instance, pressure, could be one of them. The other one could be inclinations. Inclination pressure, I think is clear. The more you press, the more pain you feel. Okay. And other is inclinations depend, maybe it's right. However, I incline behind, depends on the person, or more, or on the other side, right? So there are people that tend to do the hand like this. I don't know if it's familiar for you. When it is that, maybe the correct is to be neutral like this, very straight. However, some people, maybe now you are remembering people about colleagues that tend to make their hand like this, over palm, or the palm when the palm is down. This is Spanish. Then other side is pressure, the pressure. Okay, sometimes maybe you are afraid when you see a mate and you say, we shake your hands, and you feel very pressure. You need to go away. You say, oh, I don't like to pressure because they scratch. They feel very pain in my hands, and also I need to time to recovery of the pain that I feel. I have good memory about the company when I was working a long time ago in an insurance company, and also a very agency. Sellers come here, Antonio, how are you? And a very big person, 2 meters, with a hand like this, very muscles, and you say, oh my God, I'm alone in the passage. What am I do? What am I do? Come here, my friend. Say your hand. You say, oh, terrible. I'm very afraid of it. And instead of saying, stopping for big moments and say, well, we try. And then we try to feel crack, 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 crack. And you say, oh, what a fun, what a painful. I'm very painful. And then when I went to my desk, I feel the pain for half an hour. So the idea with this, the 3 points to handshake is to state the directions, to the inclinations, the pressure, and also the time. Well, sometimes we feel that the person, the people that they around us, or maybe it's a colleague, it's a friend, it's an interviewer, or has the gift, they not let it out our hands. It's like they have a gun, a little stick on their hands, and they close their hands, and we're going to take out. However, we can't get away from it. They try to push up to the territory, and you say, oh my God, I need to go. No, come here. Okay. So these are very important variables to try to understand. The idea in terms of the interview is we can't do anything. So we can understand the behavior. What I'm going to we need to correct us, is how our handshake might be. So this is a good piece of our. Could you do a reflection about the handshake, or when it comes to handshake? For instance, I wanted to share questions about you, or if you wanted to discuss, it's your choice. What do you think when someone make a handshake and it's very short? Okay, very short. It's a handshake with very short. Do you like this idea or not? Or what do you feel when someone pressure too much your hand? Do you feel that your reaction is good or is not good? Any wanted to discuss it or?
Yeah, I have some point to cover, but I don't know if other student would like to cover something or.
Yeah, yeah. The students who wanted to cover something,
Yeah,
it's
maybe
up to you.
you can write in chat or so.
Yeah,
But
you can
for
do by
yeah,
chat.
but for
Someone, for instance, wanted to share these comments on the
yeah on
about
chat.
the handshake, any experience.
Yeah. For me, if someone make a very fast handshake, this means that he is or she is busy and would like to greet me and go to do something else.
Mm.
So I think the fast handshake give indications that it's not important, or what I am going to say is not important.
Yeah, it's good
Um,
approach.
yeah, maybe the when I someone handshake me and the press so strong, of course I feel it's not good for my hand, but I feel that he is more friendly, like
Mm.
he would like to um, give me the feeling that he is with me, or he would like to really discuss and sit with me.
Very good approach. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it's if no comments. Well, I will. Someone wanted to comment something about handshake or the interaction. It's up. You can use the chat to make your. It doesn't matter that while we're studying, then after that, because you are thinking in English and say, I don't know how to put in English or what is going to be. Also, you wanted to use your language. It doesn't matter. Sometimes there are Spanish people here or and other from other countries. You can. It's better for you to use. You can understood and use. For you, it's better to use another language. You can do it. Well, a language, not a language, no Russian, but whatever language shows is Spanish or Egypt's language. Arabian language, sorry, you can use and it's more easy for you. Well, that's the idea on in terms of of so handshake. It's like this. Sometimes you need to say what Thomas said that well. According to the pressure, according to the time. I agree to some. I agree that the time is very important. So my approach in terms of handshake is to take time. Take 10 times to have 4 5 times like here, like this. So uno, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. So within time, that people is true that when it comes to make your handshake with the interviewer, you jump it very quickly, okay? Because you want it to be there, you are afraid and you want it to jump it. So that's not the point. You need to stay here. It's like put a stick in your hand and you say, I'm going to close it. I'm going to be 4 or 5 times here. The more you time, the more you like as an interviewer, the more you want it to be immersed in this project, the more to be to get the project, to be involved in this future job. Okay, so this is what transmit when someone is very stick to us in terms of handshake. The more you are, the better. And how many times? Well, the interviewer maybe wanted to leave. If the interviewer feel that they wanted to leave, you need to understand that it's time to take it off and to lift their hands, his hand or her hands, and start another conversation. So this is in terms of hand. So next time you have an interview, stay a little more time. 1 to 3 seconds. According to the pressure, well, it depends on the pressure. Well, we might say that the pressure, the more pressure is not sometimes not involved that you need to pressure a lot. So according to my family, the father and mother, they say you need to press a lot of mind to feel being confident with someone. Well, depends on the people. And the people sometimes if feel a lot of pressure, maybe what they feel is pain in your hands. Okay. So the idea my approach in terms of this, the next, the interviewer or the candidate, the manager of this project, make a handshake, try to handshake your hand, to do a handshake. So try to remember the pressure of the other person. I mean, if, for instance, if a candidate, if the interviewer hand make a handshake very strong, however, your hand, you feel pain, it's time to make a little pressure. Make a little pressure to equal. Okay, you need to equal forces. If the interviewer, for instance, is very short and I make a very big pressure, maybe I need to diminish the pressure of my hand. And what is the result for to equal? Equal. The more equal we are in terms of a handshake, the better it is. So depending on the pressures, I need to pressure a little bit more or a little bit more, or a little less, or a little more. So depends on the interviewer. I need to pressure more or less. So that's the idea in order to understand. So need to equal. When you equal, subconsciously, the interviewer will feel, oh my God, I feel the same person like me. I feel that this guy is like is my twin. My twin in terms. This is what the conversation of the subconscious. Subconscious say is telling you, oh, this is, or like it. I like it. The pressure is the same. The time is the same. That's for sure that this is the perfect candidate before the interview. It's like the mindset is telling to my interviewer, is telling the information that the mindset is telling to my hiring manager. There are questions. I think more time in second hand, more feeling, more friendly, but also it depends on the situation and conditions and time of both. Very good. Yes, more friendly, but also depends on the situations and conditions and time. So we are the time. Time is important. Yeah, I say roughly say the same. The time. The point is need to leave the hand very quickly, very promptly. So you need to stay a little bit more. This is my point. When it comes someone that stay a long time with not holding your hands, but not leaving out, not taking out. So we might say that this person is very manipulative. Okay, it's like a Machiavelli. You know, it sounds to you Machiavelli. Machiavelli in terms is very Machiavelli is the same in terms of synonymous politicians. Okay, trying to see, you say things like a politician. You see, he's not honestly. He has a mask and he's trying to see the own interests and not depends on the person. Putting a face, trying to advantage by himself, not for the rest of the people. Okay, so person that not holding a lot of time your hand, you want you to think that, well, it's a person that they said a long time. And when you say no, 3-4 seconds, it's a long time. You like here, you say, thank you very much. How are you? How are you? I'm feeling well. What about you? What about the trip? Oh, it was good, very perfect. Well, I see you in this conference. Oh, was very good. Was very good. And see you. Okay, are you going to go to another interview? Yes, I'm going. And then you start, and they're giving. So think about that person is trying to manipulate it to some extent when this is very long. Okay.
Yeah.
However, it's not the point.
And also, Anton, I have a comment on the length of the check hand, because I think checking hand with someone is something personal somehow. And this means that if you would like to check hand for half a minute with someone, just to give him or her that friendly communication, I think you have to prepare yourself ahead before the interview with a few sentences to discuss outside the interview. Like as you said, for example, now when you start to check your hand, You say, hello, I met you before in this conference and we discussed blah, 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 and blah, 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 and so on. So I think you need to prepare like, if you plan to shake the hand for 30 seconds, you should prepare yourself to speak in something between you and this person for a 30 seconds, right?
Yeah, what you understood is the students need to think about what you think when you are setting your hands and
Yes.
share the conclusions. Maybe tomorrow, when
Okay.
you are making, this is an example for our students, and today they start, for instance, shake hands with different people and use these instructions
Mm-hmm.
and trying to know first trying to shake hands with someone with a little more and how this person react in the same way or they change the behavior of the
Exactly.
people. No? So this
And
is good for you in order to know this. They're also trying to
mm,
equal the pressure of the handshake and try to be a little bit more, try
mm,
not take it out their hands and stay a little bit more on the shaking your hands because we tend to get it out very quickly and stay a little more time trying to
yes,
as a sick and know the conclusions and how you see the reaction of the other person. It has been more warm, has been more friendly,
mm,
or not, or maybe well I can distinguish the time, or well could be good conclusion for our students to give us this to share their conclusions.
yes. Actually, also Rifai sent a comment here. He said it's sometimes depend on the culture.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
from my experience, for example, if
that's
you
true.
make an interview in Africa, most
Yeah,
probably you will shake hand for 2, 3 minutes.
yeah,
If it's
that's
in
correct.
Southern Europe, maybe it's 1 minute. If it's Northern Europe, it will be like few seconds.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's
it's
correct.
depend on culture. Yes.
Yeah, culturally involves a lot of time, and also I see in African maybe they give a hug or something. They put
Yes.
more time. The approach is to hand someone maybe more than only depends on the handshake. In
Mm.
Africa, maybe that person like this. But remember, sometimes people give the see other like this,
Ah, yes.
another like this and
Yes.
others give a hand. So depends on the people, the approach. You see there are person that give the hand. However, there are other interviewer, maybe in Africa or other places, that give the hand like this. Or also they go to go like this. Instead of giving a hand, they say, how did she touch my shoulders? What it
Mm.
involves? Touch is better than this
Yes.
because it involves a person that is very
Personal touch.
exactly
Exactly.
personal touch.
Mm.
Better. Sometimes you put your hand, you say, come on here. You say, oh, what's
Mm.
happened?
Mm.
But that's you are in a good way. You are in a
Yes.
good, correct, in a good strategy, or you feel that this touch is better than this one.
Yes.
Because when someone touch you, it's like it's a hug. I want to hug you, but because of we have lack of time, the subconscious say, I want to hug this person. However, then your conscience part of the mindset, oh, I can't because it's not permitted. It's not, maybe I'm involved in the comfort zone. I need to stop. And this conclusion that is in a very teeny microseconds involves a touch like
Mm.
this. Okay.
We have a comment or question actually in the chat. I am wondering how we can give a good impression to the interviewer if an interview is conducted online. As I think nowadays, first few interview are online.
Well, my approach in terms of and in an online is a little bit different. They are not, it's not touchable. This is the
Mm.
first thing. So First of all, you need to have good camera, good so crystal clear. The tone of the voice is might be a little bit higher. Okay, sometimes we are talking with people. The people that are very shy try to have not to diminish the voice to get it down. So my recommendations online is to rise a little bit more tone, look more to the camera. Sometimes it's very important that a camera we are getting used to. So look at the camera. Now I'm very powerful to look at the camera as well. So it's not the same here. I look at the camera, I'll try to look here. Now I'm looking at the camera. You can see my face are very more directly. It's like I said, look at this. This is my camera. This is my camera. Look at this. This is it's an all-in-one. It's a very big bit. Sometimes you say it's not a laptop, but it's big. And this is my camera is here. It's not like a laptop. Okay, laptop you need to put a little, make higher, a little bit higher, high to go to level it. And then the camera, the higher the camera, the better for us. And instead of looking at this camera, this point, I'm going to look like this. Look at this. Here, well, this is, well, try to look at my space. Maybe you feel, oh my, the head is down. This is what it would be normal to be in an interview. I will carry out by looking at the camera instead of the photo, looking at the camera like this. However, I want to make impression, look at it because it's a good view. In order to be that, to be more concentrated, I'm going to put down. What do you feel? What is my view? Do you feel that I'm very concentrated on you or like this? Maybe the first one, when I need to put my view, instead of here, more than this, a little bit of 2 inches, two fingers. So I get the impression that my view are very right, are very corrected. I want to see your faces, or my faces are very, my faces, my view are more directly rather than this. Okay, this is my good advice. You wanted to know. There are others, but we have not time to. So the idea is to see the camera a little bit more, have a good background with no noise. Spread yourself. Look at my hands. My hands. When you talk about, move yourself. No, stay here like this because you feel here. You can move. So move. It's important to move. Not like this or but try to move. But because when you move your hands, your body feel relaxed. Your body feel like no danger is coming. So it's better for you and it's better for the interview. Try to express yourself with that idea. This is in terms of body language because social media. So I try to focus on my tone. Express yourself, trying to not to speak so quickly. Speak pronunciation is very important. Pronunciations is very important. Try to stick time, pronounce very well. Not the gear of the voice might be 1, 2, no 4, 5. This is another. And look at the camera as well. So look at the camera like this, for instance, and so the more approach, the better. For instance, I get here, so the distance seems to be more directly done. So this is my first advice, for instance. I expect could be useful for you. Well, and finally, apart from that, this is good examples. The 2 people, dominance and submission. We can't correct it. We can't correct it. We can't say to someone, people, well, I know that the photo, one of them is, well, I know this is in the past, but well, this have this difference. So what is dominant and what is submissive? Well, here you can say, what do you think?
Button is dominant and Obama is submission.
A submission. So
right?
that's correct. That's correct. Someone is very dominant. Dominant puts the hands like this. Okay, it's like
The
this.
top.
However, exactly. I wanted someone that is open. You feel that is very submissive. So as you understood the interview, you have the opportunity to feel the hands, and the interviewer say like this. You say, "Oh, maybe I have lucky because it seems to be that is submissive." I try to move my plan to be patient, to talk, no raise my tone, let it down to speak. Maybe they need time to speak rather than speak so quickly due because I want not to be very impulsive. I want not to be very dominant. It would be good, better to let it down, let it this interviewer speaks because it sounds to me that is submissive. On the other side, is very dominant. Well, the same. Well, you need in terms of submission. Sorry, in terms of submissions, I need to have I need to have a strategy because the expectation submissions involves timidity. You are a bit timid. You are very shy. So you feel the interviewer is very shy, timid. You need to talk. The expectation is to talk, to carry on. However, in terms of being dominance, well, remember that the dominance is going to talk a lot, and sometimes you need to listen or to state or listen too much instead of dominant another person. Time is like a frame. There are three times of pressure and seconds. So 1, 4, 5, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. So you have pressure, very smooth, or limp, firm, excessive, and the duration maybe 3, 4, 5 seconds. Too much than 5 could be not good. So which is for you recommendable? Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or you have one approach in terms of number which is for you perfect for you, or before you say it's here or here, or do you know? This is what Tamer said. Tamer said, well, it's time now to classify the persons. Depends on the pressure, depend on the durations, on how the people make this first impression, and try to know about the knowledge. Well, the response, what kind of handshake do you like, limp or strong? Good questions.
Not that, maybe in between, not so strong.
That's the point. That's you have a point. You have a point.
Limb, strong, and firm. I think it's the firm, the one in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
that's in the middle was the correct.
Not short,
correct.
not long as well. So it's 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Spanish. When Spanish say their hands, they tend to use very short. I realize that people say your hands very quick. It's not like American people. American, when it comes to American, I know you have the opportunity to have conference from people from different nationalities. In terms, for instance, Tamer, that they go to different conference in everywhere, in every part of the world, and they know a lot of people from foreign countries. They show he face to different nationalities and face to different people for say their hands. And maybe in Americans, it's very common to have time. They need time to say. When you say, "Oh my God," when he or she is going to take my hand, lift lift my hand. Okay, you say, "Oh, I'm waiting. I expect so." Is the culture, obviously this culture, the Americans want to be, they're going to be more, for instance, than Spaniards. A Spaniard is very short. Spaniard is like 1, 2 seconds and 3, and then lift. But my recommendation is to increase a little bit more, because by increasing it, it sounds to be that are going to be there. You are not afraid of me. I'm going to show you, I wanted to show you that your hand, I like your hands. I'm going to be here. I'm going to involve in the project. I'm going to, it entails me to be, to secure safety, the project, whatever response are very good. And baby, we're talking about involving in this project. So the more time you use your hands, the more times you are showing to the interviewer that you wanted to be immersed in this project. That's the final idea. Fantastic. It's fantastic. Excessive strong, you shouldn't use that. This is about strong, because sometimes be careful with make a lot of strain, but sometimes strong, say your hands in a good, very stronger, involves pain, aggressivity, violence, very aggressive person, very dominant person to some extent. A dominant person is a very dominant person. And with dominant person, you need to take caution, okay? Because they can't have a good communication with you. It's very strong reaction, strong anxiety, strong stress, and they have a point of view. She or he is going to stick to the point, and they are not very flexible. I don't know if you know people like this, that they're very dominant, and then when it comes to show you, no, I know this is the point, and this is the point. I told you before, and I'm going to repeat before, I'm going to repeat again that this is my point, and they are not negotiation and not going to be flexible. So take caution. Our conclusion is like to modify our, yes, that's correct. This is the final result for today. This is very good. This is the start, showing that the correct is the firm and directions. Also to, it's not be dominant or correct. For me, what is correct was neutral. It's like this. This is right decisions, right answer. So you know that the interviewer, it shows the palm, the man, you can understand that might be submissive. However, it's very dominant. You say, oh, these person are very dominant. We need to take caution on it. We need to plan our discussion with questions to let him down to speak. However, it's submissive. Maybe this person is going to be very timid. Is going to be, and you need to walk, to talk about the discourse, because this person is going to ask questions. He or she expects that you talk instead of him, instead of her. However, a dominant person, he is going to talk, and you can listen, ask questions, or whatever it is. This is the duration. Finally, this is my final conclusion for finishing the practice, the perfect handshake, as Taman said. So get conclusions for next days. This is the practice. Verbal and non-verbal communication. Here you have a good conclusion in terms of final. Wait for the interview to say hello. This is another way. So sometimes the interview has the power to say hello or no. Maybe you are very afraid and you say your hands or put your hands on it, depends on it. But for me, it's important the interviewer say hello if you wanted to say hello. If not, well, you might say your hands, but we can affirm that they wanted to say their hand. Is normal, very normal, 90%, that the interviewer will say hello and approach the hand. Also, you can do it if you want it, but depends on the person. Some people are very timid, are very quiet, and they don't want it, but it doesn't matter that you strengthen your hands and you receive the person. Finally, this is my final recommendation for today. It's like the perfect handshake, as Sam said. Well, it's time now, from time to time, that you stay to say your hands, to get conclusions about other people, and share this these exercises, these conclusions with your mates in this course. Well, this is final before starting tomorrow the module 4. This is my final recommendation. This is an example. Good morning. Okay, good morning. My name is Antonio Anton. This is an example. Well, I put here my name, and surname. It's very important. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. My name is Antonio Anton. This is my name. People call me Antonio. People call me Antonio in terms of my name also meant. I have a set positions interview, for example. Okay, this is good again. The point to repeat is sometimes is the people, when you say name, Mr. Gonzalez, the mind of this interviewer is in other sides, okay? They can't focus too much. Imagine, figure out, for instance, an interviewer that have 10, 12, 14 interviews in a day. And every time, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, enter new candidates, and they can't know exactly the name. And sometimes they fail. And sometimes they start giving the name, however, they can't learn your name. Also, probability, there is a great likelihood that they can't listen your name. So this is the reason to repeat your name. So my name is Antonio. People call me and say, Antonio, what's it? Francisco or and what's? It's Antonio. Is that this is in the mindset? And they say people. I say Antonio. Okay, Antonio. So repeat twice, but you are aware that the candidate know your name, Antonio. Okay. Sometimes he or she's afraid for telling the name. So they have some prejudice. The interviewers have a prejudice to say, what's the name? They need to go to the curriculum vitae, and the curriculum vitae, okay, the name is Antonio. But it's better the first to remember twice time, to repeat name, to remember him, the name. Okay, this is another recommendation for the people, for this student that tell me us today that is going to have an interview. I would like to this person that have an interview for today share with us the interview tomorrow. Because if an interview is conducted online, I think nowadays first new. I think nowadays interview. Oh no, sorry. They say if an interview is conducted online, I think nowadays few interviews are online. A few interviews are online. Yes, that's correct. Depends on the person. Okay, perfect. So, well, that's for today. Thank you very much for the people that have attended the classes for today. Remember that tomorrow will be our last module. We talk about a fantastic topic that is about questions in the interview to solve different sort of questions. And Tamer, as usual, I think so, they uploaded this interview, this record, and on time. So I'll give you time for Tamer explain you what he's going to do.
Yes, thanks a lot, Anton. I will share my screen. I will stop your screen, and then I will share mine.
Yes.
Yeah, I already stopped it.
Yeah, I'm going to stop it. Yeah, now it's stop it.
Yes.
So
I will share again. I will share again with you now. Here, this is the website for the teaching material. You need to hired to. You need to use this password in order to access the teaching material. Once you are there, this is the module 1, and module 1, the record before the break, after the break, the teaching material, and the exercises. Module 2, again, before the break, after the break, the teaching material, and the exercises. Module 3 of today, if you give me 2 hours or 3 hours, you will have the record of today here, but the teaching material is already uploaded as PDF file, and the exercises for today is also uploaded there.
Perfect.
So
Sounds
everything is in order. Just give me 2-3 hours until to convert the video and upload it to our YouTube channel. I think Anthony would like to say something about the homework for the people who are not attending the lecture.
yeah. We discussed about the people that can attending the lectures. They need to do the proper exercise. Remember that in terms of deadline, we need to focus on a deadline. And this is a speech for the people that can't attend these classes for today, not for the people that attend this, that they are here. But the people that can attend classes for today, remember that deadline will be until Sunday, until next Sunday.
Yes.
So remember that on next Thursday, we will finish our module 4 and the final workshop. The people that have attended are attending these sessions, so that's for sure because they are here, so they have the participation, certifications, whatever it is. Remember that the people that can't, remember that need to do the proper exercises for this course, and the deadline will be until next Sunday. Okay, so we have the weekend for doing the proper exercises. To do the proper exercises, if you have time because you need to attend classes, your grades, your master, whatever it is. So you have a very long weekend to upload. Remember that my email is like is this one. This is my the exercise. This is my email. People, even though Tamer put in the this is my
I will write it in the email. Yes, I
mail.
will.
And so I will correct it. I will correct you, and I take the feedback. I give you the feedback, and so correct it. You did it well this exercise.
Yes.
Finally, there's the questions I like to ask about 2 exercises. They are second task. Enter your rating for each number of questions in the category appears. Can you explain what it means in simple words? Enter your ratings for each number of questions in the category appears. Yes, the idea is to exercise 2 is to make your leadership test. Okay. Enter your rating for each number of questions in the categories. We say 5. It will be always, and 1 would be never. So you can use a LinkedIn scale from 1 to 5 to enter your rating for each number of questions. So you need to say 5 for you is perfect, or 1 could be very low. Okay, that's the idea. Well, questions or more questions?
No, actually, I have a reflection, Anton, on the full course in general. Not a reflection, sort of experience to transfer to our students. They are not students. I know that some of them are colleagues of ours. They are already working in research. I think it's sort of experience. So if you are very junior, you got your you just graduate today and you have a good CV and you already went to an interview. This doesn't mean that you will be hired during this interview, but actually from each interview you will get more experience. I don't know if I am correct, Anton, or not, but during the last 12 years for me, for example, I did several interview, more than 50 interview. Nothing of them was succeed. But each of them I get more experience and more experience. Even now, if you ask me what's the question of the interview, I can give you, okay, this interview you will ask it like this, and like that. So I don't think if any of our colleagues here already went to an interview and he or she failed for some reason, this is not a problem. you have to use it as an opportunity to teach yourself few things about the interview process in general. So I think this course is a great start in order to have the basic knowledge, the things that we need to know before we going to an interview. But if any of our colleagues already passed this process before and for some reason fail or didn't succeed to pass this is not a problem. This is our life.
Yeah, this is a good reflections. And also, Samuel say that sometimes, I don't know why people have more, that's more, you fail in this interview, so you need to get feedback from it, and you need to learn from it. So we
Exactly.
can, the final model for final have a final reflection about it. We can discuss this issue.
Mm.
It's about your what you have to do. So
Yes.
this is the point in personal exams. Sometimes you fail, but it's not you. It's about circumstances, and never think that it's you the person that failed, because you never
No,
fail.
no.
Never.
Exactly, because it's like job opportunity, and there is no fail here. It's not success or fail or
Okay.
success. It's just you are not the best person for this job. That's all.
Exactly. And
And
maybe you are best candidate, you are best qualified for the person, and
yes,
sometimes.
exactly. And this is actually send me to a comment, or not comment, again, reflection on the first module to study the position itself. So I think the people who would like to go to an interview, which will be the main task tomorrow, the question of the interview itself, I think they should study what the person or what the committee are looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the idea in terms of rating the company to look for information. Sometimes when it comes to find information of the company, it's good to know what sort of person they're looking for, which
Exactly.
is the attitude. Sometimes it's linked to the research that you need to do. That's
Exactly.
important. As we
Yes.
say in the first statement, to make your own research. Go in stakeholder through LinkedIn, looking for people that are inside the company, what sort of person they are looking for.
Mm.
You feel that the person might have a link to you, have a strength that you can show you, or another skills or capabilities that you feel that they are looking for. If
Yes.
they are, fantastic. Oh my God, they are looking for a training person for the management because the management failed. They wanted to know making courses there to training the people. They are looking for person that can go to different brands to train the people. Oh, fantastic! This is my dream.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going for it. I'm going to take this. That's for sure. That I'm going to take this job.
Exactly. I maybe we have this still 1 minute to reflect on this, Anton. There is a colleague of mine here at Tromsø University. He was working in library since 30 years, and he has very beautiful story about the interview. He is from Africa, and he was discriminated several times
Okay.
to get the position. Of course,
Okay.
this is 30 years, so actually the discrimination 30 years ago was completely different than today. Today, the
Yeah.
discrimination is really discrimination. But he tell me all the time a funny story that when he knows that they will interview him, he start to look for the search committee, the committee that will interview him. And normally, when any person will be interviewed, they got an email with the names of the people who will interview him. Yeah.
So we are talking about the African people and was interviewed in European
Yes,
countries,
he's African. He was working here for some years studying, and
in
then
Norway.
he applied for a position, and he got like a message that this and that person will interview you. And then he started to search the person, and he found one of them like a football team, special football team. I didn't like football, so I
Okay.
don't remind any football team. But this guy is like football team. And this African guy, once they start the interview, start to guide the interview from professional way, like asking him about his experience in IT. He worked with IT and technology, about his experience in IT into the football somehow. So he make it very friendly. And he start to convert, he start to show that he is powerful person. In order he succeeded to drive all the interview from an interview to something different, just to discuss the football and how you are like it and things like this. And he got hired because he showed that he has this strong capability to lead the other.
Yeah, you have a point. Yeah, there. Sometimes there are people that have unstructured interviews, and you expected the questions, and the people go to another side, and they talk about something that is unfamiliar. For me, my honest opinion is like my experience about a long time by making interview when someone decided you need to sometimes you need to retake it. Okay.
Yes.
And for me, my personal opinion is that when someone starts to talking about football, as I understood, or something like that, or whatever it is, and not about your professional background, for instance, you need to tell the people what is your expectations.
Yes.
I feel that, like, for instance, you can say something like, well, I suppose or I expect that it's private. It's something about my hobbies. And I don't see the points to this job. I understand that you need to get to know me as a person, as about my background. It's just I feel that this particular detail is is private. Is private. Is not sorry. It's not. It's private. It's not. It is part of my life, and this is something is private.
Exactly.
And I would like to refer, and you say to reconduct, to retake the interview. You know the interviewers. I prefer to discuss, for instance, these issues about the football. I prefer to discuss my professional background instead of it. So is that interviewee that need to reconduct, to retake the interview in the way that they need, by explaining that what they said or he said it's something personal, and a personal detail, as a personal detail, is private.
Yes, but you know, this is as a story that I tell you is something 30 years ago, so most probably the situation now is different.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look the price on the you look on the bright side rather than the bright side.
Exactly.
Sometimes my occur.
Yeah, because you know, I think or this guy, I think also you agree, Anton, with me. Once the hiring committee invite people to an interview, this means these 3 or 4 people are already qualified. So they already send their CV, they have the certification, they have the degree that enough to get the position. But I think for the interview, it's mainly to check the attitude, because you know you will be hired as a colleague with them. They will be your friend in the couple 20, 30 year, and they would like to check you are really a good person or not. Am I right in this? Or
for late, my conclusion, I want to my personal view. My personal view is we're talking about discrimination.
yeah, this is something different, of course. Now I speak on something different, not the discrimination point of view.
Okay.
Yeah, I speak in general about the interview. I think they give a bit higher weight during the interview on the personal skills, like the soft skills that the candidate has.
Personal skills, you say, like problem
Like
solving,
the way of communication, working under pressure, these things, because the scientific experience or the education, most probably all the candidates have the same or equal experience somehow. The
Yeah,
candidate that already go to the interview. So I
yeah,
think the main weight for the interview is to check if this person is nice enough to be with us as a colleague during the coming few years. Is he friendly enough? Is he is really can work under stress, or he can manage his time and so on? I think this is the most of the weight for the interview is going for that. Am I
yeah.
right or?
Well, I would say depends on Tamer.
Mm,
Depends on, as you
okay.
say. For me, you want to my personal opinion. You have more
Mm,
experience, maybe than in this area of research, and you have more experience. In terms of research, for instance, if someone decided to do an interview and they are looking for someone, so we say that this is the needs that you need to do,
mm,
the try under pressure or what are that. They are skills. We can say that they are skills that they are preferable than others. But when someone a job, I want to isolate this example. I would in general, for instance, when an interviewer will make a presentation, I would say in the advertisement, they said, we are looking for a person, is what the job description involves. The job description involves that you need to handle the pressure. You need to communicate well. You need to go to others. So there are skills that they are required in this curriculum vitae, and you need to add it. So this is the reason that the hybrid curriculum vitae is better, because you can add better your skills and they are going to ask questions: how do you solve this problem, how you are under stress, or let me know some situations that you are under stress, or what it is. So skills are very important in order to stay in a culture, in a corporate culture. Because remember that if you are not aware about the corporate culture, maybe you fail, or maybe you feel depressed, or maybe because the way you behavior is very against the behavior of the company, the behavior of the department. So they advise us about this environment. So sometimes you need to advise people about the environment, because I face these informations when it comes to hiring people, and they say, well, your job, your boss is like this. It's
mm,
very, the department that you're going to work is a stressful department. It's a nightmare. Do you know? I wanted to advise you. Do you handle well the stress? Do you handle the way the people that tend to shout you to higher the voice? Do you handle this information? Maybe they are part of them. They say, no, I can't cop someone that insult me, or can't cop that raise the voice more than what is normal. Other person say, no, I can't. Well, but my mom is shouting everywhere. My brother is shouting everywhere. But well, I'm getting used from when I were a kid, so I can cope. I pass, but I can talk and do my boss. I don't give importance to that issues. Well, I'm like this, and I forget it when someone tell me something bad in the 2 seconds. So sometimes companies and enterprises are looking for people skills that they give a lot of importance to because the consequence when you are trying to link you to a department, how do you match with the people around you. Mm.
yep.
And I try to see the point, Tamer, to say when you say that. I don't know, it's a personal expression to say, or your expectations are different, or is it something different in terms of you agree or don't agree with this idea in terms of someone that is, when it comes to curriculum vitae, better the professional background.
Mm,
But nowadays, companies have changed their mind, and
yes.
they change their mind in the sense that curriculum vitae is fantastic, but they're looking for emotional intelligence skills.
Mm,
Emotional intelligence skills every day gives you to more importance to work under control, have good communications, problem solving, team leading, team working, managing your time, they are very, very important in every department, because if you can handle, even though you have a perfect curriculum vitae with high scores, with high masters, with a lot of background, professional background, however, you have a lack of these skills, maybe you are not used to the company culture, and you might fail. We don't say that you need to accept the rules by yourself, but the company culture would be you will face to very strong environment, cultural environment, about your individual skills, and yours. Also, the people are very, according to my experience, every time companies are looking for more uh, environment, emotionally intelligence skills, rather than, I would say, rather, even though qualifications are very important, but every focus more on the, because at the end of the day, what they expect is to teach. You need to know something, and depends on, it's not very vital. Skills every time have big impact in a big corporation.
Yes, I agree.
So that's for all for today. You don't have any questions. So tomorrow, module 4, we will start. We will be my last module for you. Thank you very much for coming to attend this. Thank you very much, Samer, for all your help in order to upload the documentation, to record it. Without Samer, it would be more impossible to do also these courses. I appreciate it. With no questions, so as I said, Tamer, they uploaded this material on, he said before. Thank you very much. Bye bye, and see you tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye, everybody.
Yep, super duper. Thanks a lot, Anton, for this nice discussion and presentation. And I think now I should stop the record.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to leave.